Should you be concerned about the recent bank failures of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank? Well, I'm going to say yes and no, but we're definitely going to be discussing that today in our financial freedom video, so stay locked in. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, certified financial planner and president and CEO of the Retirement Education Center.
And my name is Andrea Graves, Director of Operations at the Retirement Education Center. And we want to thank you for tuning in to our Retirement Education Concepts videos. These videos were created to help to make the difficult and confusing retirement process simple.
Absolutely, Andrea, because with so many retirement strategies out there, so many retirement concepts, and of course with so many retirement products, it can become very difficult for consumers to digest it all. That's why we are so fortunate that we work with a team of expert advisors to help us build a financial roadmap that will let our clients know when, where, and how they can reach their retirement goals.
For additional concepts on how to maximize your retirement, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos. So Carson, how concerned should we be about the closures of Silicon Valley and Signature Bank?
Well, Andrea, that's a very, very good question because, anytime that you see a major bank fail, and here we've seen two major banks fail with Signature Valley Bank and, of course, Signature Bank, it can give you a cause to pause for sure in the financial markets. We most recently saw this same particular situation, Andrea, during the 2008 financial crisis. And of course, what many people start to wonder in the financial world is that could this cause any type of financial contagion in the marketplace? And so what is financial contagion? Basically it's more like the pandemic, Andrea. When one thing happens over here, it can continue to cause things to happen elsewhere and continue to spread all of this financial issues into other sectors of the marketplace. And so if that happens, of course, like we're seeing right now, you're going to have a major sell-off in the market. And of course, anybody that's in the market right now will start to feel this pain. But Andrea, that is why it is so critical that people have professionals around them that can help hold your hand during a time like this, so you can understand that, we've been here and we've done that, and we can help see you through these types of situations. So it's always going to be a concern anytime you see major banks start to fail, because we don't know what's going to be on the other side of these failures. But we're going to talk about these concerns today. But before we do that, Andrea, there are always two rules to retirement income that we like to give you. And what are those two rules?
Well, rule number one is to never run out of money, and rule number two is to never forget rule number one.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about these recent bank failures and if you should be concerned or not, and if you are concerned, what you can actually do about it.
Well, Carson, what does it really mean when a bank fails?
Andrew, quite simply, I always like to make things simple here. When a bank fails, it pretty much means that that bank could not meet the obligations of their depositors or their investors. That's simply what it means. You can simply compare this to you actually taking out a mortgage for your home. If you get behind on your mortgage, or if you're no longer able to pay that mortgage, what's going to happen? They're going to come in, the mortgage company is going to come in and foreclose on that property. But when a bank fails, that is exactly what the federal regulators do, or state regulators. They will come in and foreclose on that bank in order to get it under control, because they're no longer able to meet their financial obligations to their depositors or their investors.
Well, Carson, when you see closures like Silicon Valley and Signature Bank, what does it really mean for shareholders and consumer depositors?
And yeah, that's really the big issue at hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is going to happen to our money?
Right.
Unfortunately, Andrew, for the shareholders, according to President Biden, they're going to basically take it on the chin on this one here. They're going to basically get little to nothing for their shares. But fortunately, Andrew, for the consumers, who I consider people who are always innocent in these types of situations, they are going to be made whole according to the federal government. They're going to have all of their money back by the federal government like it should, FDIC insured, up to the $250,000 mark and more. So not even just up to the $250,000 mark guarantee that the FDIC insures your deposits by. The federal government said they're going to actually insure all of the deposits of those banks. So that is a very comforting thing to know, and it gives us as consumers confident that we can continue to put our money safely in the bank as we have always done for many, many years.
Well, I'll tell you, that's really comforting to know that innocent people won't be hurt by this, Carson.
Absolutely, Andrea. And what many people should find even more comforting is that not one depositor, Andrea, has ever lost one penny of their money since the FDIC was created in 1933. So you should understand that, safety is still there within the banking system, but unfortunately, these things do happen over time, but we do have something in place, FDIC insurance, that can at least step in and start backing some of these failed banks.
Well, Carson, I'm sure that most people want to know, what was the main reason for the closures of the banks?
Yeah, and we have a very good research team here, a very good advisory research team in our company. And we looked into this, and the primary reason that we've come up with, Andrew, is that really it comes down to assets versus liabilities, okay? When it comes to Silicon Valley Bank, a large amount of their investors and consumers were technology companies. And we know that technology companies have been taking a beating over the last year and a half or so. And so when those companies, Andrea, started, withdrawing more of their money to meet their own liquidity needs, guess what? It put the bank in a cash crunch of their own where they could not feasibly meet their financial obligations. And therefore, we have the situation that we have right now with Silicon Valley Bank. So you have to be very careful about the leverage that goes into these banks. And you have to be very careful about who your actual customer is. Because if they get into trouble, Andrew, and they have to actually withdraw money, then it could put you in a bind in a situation like Silicon Valley Bank has found themselves in. And unfortunately, it has caused some great reverberation in the marketplace. Now, when it comes to Signature Bank, the same situation actually applies. Assets versus liability. So since a large amount of their clients were actually in the crypto sector, and we know what has taken place there, a similar situation actually took place where they were withdrawing funds from Signature Bank. And of course, the same thing applied to them. They did not have enough money to meet those obligations and therefore had to go into what I would call bank foreclosure.
Well, Carson, it seems very unsettling, especially since many of us thought we were under more regulations, especially since the last financial crisis.
Andrew, I understand that, and for many consumers out there, I feel the exact same way. I thought we had cleaned up our act. We had the Dodd-Frank Consumer Protection Act that was passed due to the financial crisis of 2008. And here we go again. And so this is why I encourage anyone. You have to have professionals around you to help you with these types of situations. You have to have a plan in place. I always say if you have a plan, then your plan is never to fail, right? That's the deal that people don't talk about. If you do have a plan, your plan is to never fail. And so therefore, when you have a market like this and you see these type of financial contagions that may start from the banking failure, it could be from the housing sector, we don't know where it may come from. But if you do have financial professionals who have built you a plan around some of the best and worst case scenarios, then you can move forward in these marketplaces or these type of markets, Andrea, a lot smoother than others, Andrea, who may have bought into a single sector of the marketplace or may not understand how to diversify out of their financial holdings in order to have financial protection or have a defensive system in place when you start to see these things unravel.
Well, Carson, how will people be notified when a bank has closed, and what should they do about that?
Well, Andrew, what they typically do is that the FDIC is going to send you a letter and let you know this bank is actually closed. And if that bank has actually been taken over by another bank, and we saw this, Andrew, during the 2008 financial crisis, Washington Mutual was taken over by Chase. I was actually a client of Washington Mutual, of course. We both were, of course. And when they took it over, we simply got notification that was happening. The other way that they're going to let you know is by social media, right? Mm-hmm. The media is probably going to let you know first and foremost before you ever get the snail mail. You're going to see it on your phones and everywhere else that you actually have social media. But you ask what you should do. You should really do nothing. Ideally, you should be able to sit put and allow FDIC insurance to do its job, and you will see the transition actually be very smooth. My debit card transactions, my checking account, everything transitioned over very smoothly, Andrea. Well, I didn't really miss a beat. Andrea, I was still able to use my debit card with Washington Mutual. I was still able to use the old checks from Washington Mutual until everything just transitioned over properly. So That is ideally what everyone should do when it comes to a bank closure. Just stay put and allow them to do their job, and everything should transition over smoothly for you.
Well, Carson, this information was extremely helpful, so thank you for your insight on this topic, and thank you for watching. And if you felt this information was beneficial for you, please like this video and share with others.
So I really do hope that the information that we provided to you today will help give you some insight into what happens when a bank actually fails. Please understand that these videos are created for educational purposes only, and that you should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and your own attorney regarding your personal situation. Also, if you are looking for a fiduciary financial advisor to help you understand these types of complex financial matters, we highly recommend that you utilize the links in our description below and go ahead and schedule a 1-hour free consultation with us today.
For more information about this topic or any of the other topics that we've shared in our other videos, please feel free to reach out to our office or leave any questions or comments in the section below. After this video, please check out our other videos that will give you tips on how to maximize your retirement. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you have questions,
we have answers.